Hi guys, as you know, America and Europe now are COVID-19 hotspots, yet many people still staring between should I wear or should I not wear a mask?
What we worry about is actually the potential negative aspects of wearing masks, where people are not protecting their eyes, or other aspects of where the virus could enter your body, and that gives you a false sense of confidence. But also, it increases the touching of your face.
Or you can make a face covering out of an old t-shirt. Fold it to the middle from the bottom. Fold it to the middle from the top. Fold it again to the middle from the bottom, and again from the top. And then 2 rubber bands, one on one side and one on the other side. Then you fold either side to the middle, and you have yourself cloth face covering. It's that easy.
I'm Lan and I'm from Vietnam. I'm doing PhD in sociology in Ireland. The total number of cases in Ireland now are relatively high, so I'm a little bit worried. My housemates, they said they're worrying too. So one day I saw one of them coming back from a walk outside wearing protective clothing like this. And it was like, because for me, protective clothing is supposed to be something like this. Oh, he forgot clothes. I'm not kidding, I'm very serious. So let's talk and compare the logic of wearing a mask and not wearing a mask. Logic number 1. What you need is avoiding close contact with sick people, especially who are coughing or sneezing. So how would you know the people standing in front of you are going to cough or sneeze? Even if I'm the one of who are going to sneeze, I don't think I have the moment to say, hey, I'm going to sneeze. Let alone people have enough time to run away from me, at least for 8 meters. They would have to run quick during a second. Logic number 2. Wearing a mask just protect you from touching your face. Or from not touching your face. Dr. Pirenge Fitch said they wear them incorrectly and they can increase the risk of infection because they are touching their face more often. However, according to other people like Kitty Sheridan here we have, there is something for people who are not infected but still want to wear a mask to consider. They want these masks, which are in short supply, to avoid infecting themselves by touching their own mouth, nose, eyes. Yeah, it is rather like feeding a dog with a big plastic cone to prevent him scratching a wound. Woof woof. So, in summary, will masks protect you from touching your face or from not touching your face? What confusing messages. So, let's see a video here from Washington Post.
Start working on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes. And of course, enhance cleaning of surfaces.
Well, we're always saying the common sense of washing your hands, not touching your face.
We're looking at every way individuals come into the country, not just through the... Right.
But one of the key parts to preventing transmission is washing your hands and not touching your face. You know, there's a lot of folks that are trying to ask themselves, do I need a mask?
I think these are very important things. Working hard, not to touch your face.
That everyone would have to fill out that would go directly to CDC with that information.
I've been looking around the room here. I can't tell you the number of you who've put your hands to your face in the last 20 minutes or half an hour.
I want to know how many of them are from...
Hear some of the things about washing your hands and not touching your mouth and your nose and your eyes.
Can you tell me why it took 5 days to to test the patient in Madison County.
The value of hand washing and using sanitizing gels to, if you get the virus on your hands, eliminate it before it finds a way. Don't touch your face. My kids are so sick and tired of me saying if they scratch their face, don't touch your face. That's how viruses get into the body.
The video shows a nature of human touching their face. Logic number 3. Wearing a mask is useless. All you need is to wash your hand frequently. Let's look at how much effort Prince Charles put into avoiding handshakes.
Hello, Charles. You're very welcome, my good man. Oh, things old stock. Put it there. Oh, fuck it. We're not allowed to that. Oh, just this, is it? I haven't a fucking clue. That's quite all right. Come over here and meet my good friend. Oh, things old stock. Ah, fuck it. I done it again. Jesus, how are you? We're Japanese now. Konnichiwa. I haven't a fucking clue what I'm at. How are you getting on? Sound out.
Luckily, Prince Charles is now recovering from COVID-19. Good news. And there's also a viral video illustrating how touches could be so dangerous.
خمسون بالمئة من حالات العدوى المكتسبة بالمنشآت الصحية يمكن تجنبها بتطهير اليدين.
Makes sense, I agree, but that's all what we need. If we just live in a silent movie like in that video, if all you need is just washing your hand, how would you explain this confirmed case on 23rd January from China? Health officials report man contracted virus in 15 seconds from stranger. The 56-year-old male patient named as Patient 5 had no previous contact with animals and was not acquainted with any confirmed carriers of the virus in his native district of Jiangbei. He only stood next to a confirmed female carrier, 61-year-old Patient 2. At a booth inside Shandongfang Market for just 15 seconds. Okay, so how would you explain this case? Because I don't think the Chinese people would have custom handshakes. And you could bear it in your mind that although Asian people don't have the custom handshakes, coronavirus still devastated China. Meanwhile, the Asian reporters seem to care more about this detail. Neither was wearing a surgical mask. Back to the video of Dubai. For me, it seems like they just forgot to color green those parts. And if all what we need is to do wash your hand, why are the Thais doing this in elevators? Logic number 4. Only people with symptoms need wearing masks. It's a waste of resources if everyone wear a mask. So what about affected people without symptoms? COVID-19 is a symptomatic transmission disease, remember? Which means the people who look totally healthy, and even if they feel totally healthy, they're walking around the town at the same time spreading COVID-19 to how many people? Who knows? And would you blame on these healthy look-like people for not wearing masks? Because you might be one of them. Besides, did you see any coughing or sneezing people who wear masks? Or Do you see anyone in Europe or America generally normally wear a mask? Yeah, thanks to the mask wearing stigma. Logic number 5. Masks won't protecting you from coronavirus. So we have two paradoxes here. Paradox 1. Masks won't protect you from coronavirus, but they will protect you people from spreading the disease to the wider community. And paradox 2. Masks won't protect you from coronavirus, but they help protect medical professionals from contracting coronavirus. So the question basically is, do masks help or not? And yes, they do. As you know, viruses are tiny, but coronavirus, they need to attach to something. Straight say droplets. They can't just be like dry and clean dandelions flying out of your mouth and something. I don't know what images to compare, or like bats flying out of the Dracula's mouth or something. They need to attach to something. Exist inside droplets. Coronavirus are droplet viruses, and the droplets, they are basically will be pulled down by gravity because they are big and heavy, and that's explains why coronavirus is not airborne viruses, which means they're normally not hanging on the air, but they will fall onto surfaces, let's say ground or tables, and you are unlikely to get the viruses just by breathing the air. What a relief, right? And as I understand, coronavirus are just airborne in some specific conditions, like in some kind of special environments or hospital where the density of coronavirus is very high. And oh, right, at the moment that you are sitting in front of or next to a person who are, oh, not this picture, sorry, not this one as well. Here, this is what we expect from a person who is coughing, sneezing, singing, speaking, or even breathing. Well, the video, not exactly illustration, but sort of. But if you still don't believe that speaking and breathing could transmit a virus, then listen to an explainer of how you could see your breath in the winter.
You've been doing it since you were a little kid. On a cold winter day, you take a deep breath, let it go, and watch big, foggy billows come out of your mouth and float away. It's like you're making clouds. But why does it happen? Why can you see your breath when it's cold out? Now, our lungs, no matter what time of the year, are kind of like Georgia in July, warm and muggy. When you exhale, the air leaving your body is actually completely saturated with moisture. That means the relative humidity of your breath is 100%. And when the water vapor in this warm, sultry, saturated air strikes the cold air, those water molecules slow down and quickly condense into liquid. It's the same mechanism that causes fog. Masses of warm, humid air striking cold air, causing condensation. But here's the thing, in order to condense, those molecules need something to stick to. So they actually attach themselves to tiny particles in your breath called condensation nuclei, or even cloud seeds. These provide a solid platform for water vapor to condense into a droplet, and your cloud seeds are composed of all kinds of things. Soot, dust, cell particles from your lungs, even bits of your proteins and DNA. In fact, scientists are developing a way to analyze our exhaled breath condensate, or EBC as it's called, to look for the presence of air pollutants or signs of respiratory illness.
See, you see droplets and particles of bacterium or virus or whatever from people's lungs. Logic number 6. There is no evidence that wearing masks on healthy people will protect them. Yes, and I believe there's also no evidence that wearing masks on healthy people will not protect them. Think about how people usually conduct a comparative experiment. We could divide people into two groups called control group and experimental group. One group will have masks and one don't. Then we make them exposed to coronavirus and record the results. Who would want to be the participants of such kind of idiot research? And I don't think any research ethics committees would let them do it anyway, so no. We even haven't mentioned how to control other factors like that might affect the study results, the confounding variables, like how to make the participants exposed to the same source of coronavirus, which means the same strain of virus, then same virus concentration as well. Whatever. So we might never know how much masks are effective on preventing coronavirus. We might never have the evidence for it. Maybe the mask could give us a chance of 60% preventing from coronavirus, or maybe the number just 40, 20, or even 10. Whatever number. It's still better than 0, right? And again, the number could be 10, but it also could be 40, even 60, I don't know. And when both speakers use masks, then they would have double the layers of mask to protect them. It's good, right? I'm not working in the field of health, so I'm not capable of reading two typical journal articles, but I saw somebody posted a link which synthesized quite a lot of studies pertaining to mask effectiveness against viruses like influenza or coronavirus. So I will put a link down here under the video to those who care about to have a look. Logic 7. Logic number 7. Wearing a mask will cause panic. Someone I know, she's in France and she's sharing on Facebook something that had happened for a while, but that when a child came to school with a mask, his teacher advised him not to wear it because it could cause panic around the children. And do you know what would cause panic in nature? People who don't wear masks. However, this is a potentially dangerous message. If people believe that masks should not worn since it causes panic. For example, a nurse said she quit her job at an unidentified Chicago area hospital this week when she was assigned to a COVID-19 unit and was told she couldn't wear her own mask. Vera, the nurse, also reminded her managers that some nurses who had worn only surgical masks on their units are currently intubated and fighting for their lives. Can I please just wear my own N95 mask? Vera recalled asking her manager one final time through tears and fogged glasses. Her manager said it wouldn't be allowed. So I gave up. I gave report and left. Vera wrote. Notice one of the reasons why nurses and doctors weren't allowed to wear masks was their manager was afraid of the patient would think it was a contaminated, dangerous hospital when they saw the staff wearing an N95 mask. We can read more examples like Henry Nikisais in El Paso, Texas. 2 weeks ago, he was intubating a patient for respiratory distress on his overnight shift. He walked into the hallway and saw people gathered in a group, so he slipped on his hospital-issued N95 mask. The next day, the hospital supervisor told him that he wasn't allowed to wear a N95 mask. when he wasn't in the operating room or treating a patient with an infectious disease because they are costly and short supply. Nikisai was also told he was scaring the patients. Yes, thinking that wearing masks will cause panic is such a dangerous perspective. Logic number 8. We need censorship to prevent mask holding and gouging price. Yeah, for example, Facebook. As in my impression, they kind of resist the call on deleting anti-vaccination advertisement, for they kind of prefers free speech. But then, in COVID-19, they strongly felt their obligation on banning mass advertisements. Ironically, no, we need punishment, fine, or whatever sort of legal chastisements to prevent the greedy sellers, but not something to prevent people buying essential stuff that could save their life. Logic number 9. Last but not least, we have to save masks for medics, or else there's no one to treat the affected. Yes, I totally agree. Sure, helping them is helping us. Just wait a second. There's still one paradox and one point here. Paradox. We have to save masks for medics, then we might expose more to coronavirus. Then there will be more patients for the medics, and after all, the medics will expose more to coronavirus. And the point here is we have to save masks for medics, but what kind of masks? That's surgical or medical masks, N95 masks. They are for the healthcare workers and for patients. And us, we could use reusable masks, and why reusable masks are sufficient for us? Again, because we are trying to prevent our face from droplets and hands. And droplets and hands are big. Even with a surgical mask, we can disinfect it with microwave. That's how you could look at how the Institute for Occupational Safety and Environmental Health in Vietnam instruct. I put a link under this video. They show how to disinfect surgical mask with microwave. And also we can use a cloth mask, stick it with a daily sanitary pad inside. Yeah. My solution is kind of like him. Wherever will, there's a way. And there is a picture of me wearing my pink cloth mask, sticking with a sanitary pad inside. In this picture, I was trying to express a big smile under the pink mask by squinting my eyes into lines, and I was too scared to touch my face, even my hair. That's why I kept the same look to when I was experiencing a stormy weather from the outside. Yeah. The mask kept me on high alert that my face was a dangerous place. No touch. Believe me, you can't forget the no touch thing when you have a giant stuff stick on your face. So, is it the government's fault to not store face masks, leading to our face mask shortage now? No, not in the very beginning. When the outbreak happened in China, should I blame for the lovely cork to be so fresh and green? No, I even haven't said thanks enough. But 3 months after the outbreak in China, if somebody is still trying to degrade the necessity of face masks, then yeah, that's false. Trying to consistent in telling people that masks are useless so that they don't have to find more masks. How convenient. And back to my video titles, that is really a big question that I want to ask the people who said that masks were useless. Were they really that useless? If masks are that useless, then why would you want to save masks for the healthcare workers in the first place? Or were you just trying to put a big censorship on the fact of the shortage of masks by making delusions on the unnecessity of masks? Because I come from an Asian country, and apparently wearing masks does help. In Western countries, yes, we can lock down our whole country for 2 weeks, but what after 2 weeks? Could coronavirus peak again? The second time, the third time, even the fourth time like Thais? Yeah, remember, every country just started with a small number of 1 or 2 affected people, and then we get thousands. Could it be a loop of nightmares? If we don't change anything, possibly, yeah, it could. And I don't want to live in this nightmare for even a few years. Yeah, we have to try as many solutions as we can besides lockdown. Because lockdown is effective, clearly, but it cannot be forever. So, what's the point of making and remaining stupid delusions on masks when it also brings dangers by stigmatizing people who wear masks as ill people? Here's what a student from Singapore said after attacked in Oxford Street for being yellow and wearing mask. When people see an Asian wearing a mask, face mask, they automatically assume that person is ill. I watched incident where people got shouted at the street for wearing masks, which is ridiculous because they are trying to protect themselves and trying to protect you as well. Another example of a Vietnamese girl in Australia. By stigmatizing and degrading face masks, you make no one, even the sick people, want to wear it, let alone people contracted with coronavirus but thought they're healthy. A big lie and a dangerous message. Now, if anyone who watched this video changed her mind on the usage of masks, please try to find some reusable masks. If you can do sewing, then sew them for you and for your loved one. And in case you are very good at making good quality masks, then you could also send it to healthcare workers and shippers, postmen and postwomen who are still outside working for us to help us. This is not something weird. This is something happening around the world right now, from hospitals to elderly groups, from Asia to Europe. And you know what? Who cares about wearing fashionable outfits in COVID-19? If you have a fabric and clothing factories or something, stop manufacturing shirts and focus on masks and PPE making. People can wear their last year t-shirt, but mankind will need face masks in 2020. So what we need first is to get rid of that stigma on wearing masks, then understand the essential of wearing face masks and build new habits of using it. As a last words, I want to borrow the statement from Kathy Sheridan, who said healthy people wearing masks is rather like feeding a dog with a big plastic cone. Yup. It's time for us to start acting like grown-ups and face the fact that healthy people need masks. Thank you for spending your time with me.